Good day, Professor. My name is Ikwuanusi Francis, and I'm here to make a presentation on the project which I titled CKY Parser in Automata theory. I titled the CKY Parser because it has to do with creating different sentences and then using the CKY Parser with the grammar which I also created, this context-free grammar, and then confirming whether the sentences are valid or invalid. Okay, for this project I assume myself to be a student who is carrying out a research, and so I had to visit the library, and then I had to collect some books, I had to speak to the librarian, I had to check some of the books on the shelves myself to find out which of the books I need, and then so given this scenario I was able to create 20 sentences which are valid, and then 4 which are not valid. They are supposedly valid now because I have to still confirm them using the CKY table to know if my sentences are valid or not valid below. So I have created 20 sentences, and after that, after creating 20 sentences, what I did next is to create a context-free grammar to suit those particular sentences, to accept the sentences that I've had in my mind and created here. And then after that, I converted the context-free grammar into CNF in order to be able to meet the CNF form. And then after creating the context-free grammar into the CNF, I now parsed using the CKY table and then confirm whether they are valid or invalid. That is what I have done in the project. And so below you can see that I listed the sentences. I have 20 sentences here which are valid. They are not proven valid yet, but after the CKY, after passing it to the CKY table, I hope they will be valid. And after all doing it using the passing doing the CKY table, I created a code. I was thinking whether I should create a Python code or a C++ code because I am good in both languages. And then I ended up creating a C++ code in order to carry out the CKY parsing, even though I had to collect some part of the code from a particular link which I have provided here, and then I reused some part of the code, and then I created more and added more to be able to carry out the CKY parsing. So right here, after creating the sentences, I used the context. I wrote a context-free grammar. I got the context-free grammar from your video on the lecture of the project lecture video. Then I added this last production. I added this last production in order to accommodate the sentences I had in my mind. And then after writing down this context-free grammar, I moved on, and then I added the lexicons. There are the determinants, the nouns, the verbs, the pronouns, the proper noun, the auxiliaries, the prepositions. These are added on the words I use in the sentences below, because I created these lexicons having in mind the sentences which I already created above. So after that, I had to convert this whole context-free grammar into CNF, Chomsky normal form. And then in order to do that, I just had to follow the two basic rules in the context in CNF, which are a non-terminal left-hand side generating either a two non-terminal at the right-hand side or a one terminal at the right-hand side. These are the two rules. So in order to get the context-free grammar into the CNF format, I had to make some changes, and this is the new CNF I was able to come up with. And then first of all, the ones on the black color, which that is the ones that are untouched, are the ones that obey the CNF rules, which, like I said, I stated above here. Non-terminal to generating one terminal at the right hand side, or non-terminal generating two non-terminals at the right hand side. So this is how we were able to create this this new CFG in CNF. And then you can see the ones that are on the black are the ones that are obeying CNF and they were not touched. Like for instance, this S generating MPVP, which is here. I didn't touch it because it didn't require a change. It was already in CNF format. So after that, the ones that are not in CNF format are the ones that I created. The ones on red are the ones that I had to replace. For instance, you can see, let's say SVP. SVP is not in a CNF format. So what I did was, as you taught in the lecture, I created this. As you taught in the lecture, this S here, since it is equal to, it generates VP, I go get all the VPs that are present. Like for instance, you see this VP here gives verb. This one too is not in CNF, but here VP is NP is in CNF. This is VP is in VP gives verb, which is CNF. VP gives VP, which is in CNF. And then the ones you can see, the S generates these. These are all in CNF. Then the S also generates because you see the VP generates verb, S generates VP generates verb, so S generates verbs. So, and the verbs in the lexicons, you can see they are visiting, research, and all that. So S, I think that should be S generates listing all the verbs. And because the lexicons are also in CNF, because they all have only one terminal, so it is good and safe to list them all here. And then after that, all that is the same way we generated all of them. Then for this second one, for an example, as generating all auxiliaries, NP and VP, I decided based on how you explained and based on what I understand, these two, you choose these two and then put them into create a new production for them, which I titled as X1. And then this X1 is a new production, and that is why it's in green. I decided to use for all the brand new productions. Like, okay, I have another one here, X2 VP. So all the brand new productions, I use the green to identify them and then, or to indicate them. So there's X1 now, which represents auxiliary and MP, and then all I had to do was this auxiliary and MP, I replaced it with X1, and then we have X1 VP, which is what is here. X1 VP, which is what is here, and now this is now in CNF formats. So this is basically what I did for all of them. You see the black ones are the ones that are already in CNF. I didn't have to change them. This one VP, as I said earlier, VP is a verb. VP generates verb. So and the verb here is in context, is in CNF already. So I could just replace this verb here with all this, and that is what I did for VP at this particular point. And then also you can see the NP generates pronoun, proper noun. This NP generates determinant and nominal. It's already in CNF, so I don't need to touch that. So pronoun, it's okay. It's below here. Sorry, 1 minute, Professor. Pronoun, it's as seen below, it's here, I, we, and all that, and the proper, and then also VP generates proper noun command. So what I did here, since they're all in CNF, I didn't need to put that again. I just have to bring it here, and I put it, where is it here? Yes, that's why they are in red, because they are replaced, So I put the pronoun here and then the proper noun here, and that is basically all I did here. And that is why I signified the red ones are the ones that were replaced, the black ones are the ones that are not touched, and then the green ones are the ones that were completely new, like X1 and X2, they are completely new productions. Okay, so that is basically what I explained down here in the explanations, and then after that I go into the sentence parsing, and then I'm parsing the sentence with the CKY table, and the CKY table is built in a way, as defined here, it's built in a way that each word in a sentence is parsed, and then groups of words are parsed, and so on and so forth. If, for instance, if the sentence is a 3-word sentence, then the sentence is the CKY table is going to be a 3-by-3 sentence. So as I explained all that, down here. I explained all that down here, and then for the purpose of avoiding any complexity, some of the like nominal, preposition, I used the short abbreviations for them, and I indicated the changes here. And then the CKY table, parsing table, you see the first one is visiting, and if you check our CNF visiting, you can find visiting. Okay, you can find visiting. There's a visiting in S. There's a visiting in VP, and of course there is a visiting in verb in the lexicon. So that is how the visiting verb as VP came about. And then the D here, the determinant, is all in the determinant. And then you check, is there any place for this one? You check, is there any place for verb determinant or S determinant or VP determinant? And then in my context-free grammar, in my context-free and SFNG, there is no place where any that precise a determinant. So because of that, we have an X. And then the same thing, you go here at the library. The library is also a noun. It's this, I use the NN for now, and then nominals are also nouns. The nominal also generates nouns, which it's here too. You could see in the library. So that is how, there's no other place again that you can see the library in the CNF. So that is why I have NO. Then you have the 1, 2, 1, 3, as I explained here. Sorry, the 1, 2, 3, as I explained here. It's either 1 to 2, which is 1 to 2, which is this one determinant, or 2 to 3, 2 to 3, which is the library. So is there any place where determinant and nominal, or determinant and noun? Yeah, there is a place like that. There is a figure like that, determinant and noun in a nominal, determinant and nominal, which is NP. So that is how NP got into this place. And then this one, we have a 0, 3, 0, 3. So I said here, you have 0, 1, 1, 3, 0, 1, 1, 3, 0 verb, NP or S, NP or VP, NP. And then if you check the CNF, you're gonna get there's a verb NP, which is S. There is a VP, it's also, say there is a VP NP, which is X2, and then there is a verb NP, which is VP. These are the only places that they included. So that is why I have this. Then the next one is 0, 2, 0, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3. Because there's an X here, we don't consider that. So because this is the last sector in this CKY table, and it has an S, because of that, that's why I say I indicated here. I indicated it here. I use S with a red color, indicated it here, because it becomes a valid